Okay, Dr. Dag, I'm back. I apologize for that abrupt ending in the last one. I went to why I chose this group and my connection to, and this is the connection to my cultures project. As I was saying before, I chose this group of students because as an educator, I know that I needed to learn more about this group of students. Now, the truth be told, there are not a whole lot of Mexican or Hispanic kids at this school that I'm currently working at, but um, I am set to finish in May. Aside from student teaching, which I'm looking at a couple options. So I do have a couple options for student teaching. And this is kind of off, but it ties in as to why I'm choosing this group. One of those options being that I can come back here and student teach and actually be hired as a teacher and use that first semester as my student teaching here because we are a charter school, because I will have met all the course requirements aside from student teaching. That being said, if something is available here for me and I go that route, and even if I don't and I do just a more traditional student teaching, then go to a public schools, most of the public schools here in North Carolina are gonna have, in the area that I live in, are gonna have a good amount of Hispanic students. And one thing I have seen and believe wholeheartedly is that not only are they underserved, but they're misunderstood. Like um, we unfortunately make certain assumptions about this group of people based off what their parents and families do, or how much the parents or families are at school for certain things. And it's just it's unfortunate, but I don't want to continue to be part of that problem, and I would love to be, part of the solution and just really try to be solution based on this. In my other class I'm taking right now is a sociology or human diversity class. The book that um, we read for that class was Con Respeto. I don't know if you're familiar with the first ethnography I've ever read. And honestly, I was a little skeptical about it because I'm thinking this is a human diversity class. I would like to see us cover all cultures, but after reading the book or the ethnography, after reading it, like I was very grateful because it really just kind of correlated with what we were doing here in my education class, my social studies class, and it was based on those Hispanic or um, migrant families or Spanish speaking families, and I learned so much. And the crazy part about it is this book was like written in 96, maybe 96 or something like that, and it's just like those same issues that were present there are just as prevalent in 2019 and in our current society. So I definitely appreciate that, and I wanted to just learn more about this group. And the one thing I have noticed right here in my classroom, and I do have I think 3 students who are Hispanic origin in my classroom. And one thing I have seen is that they have a very unique learning style. And not just unique to the group, but you just individually, just very unique. There's one student I can say, hey, the sun is yellow, or the sun, and she'll get it. Oh, okay. And then the other one I have to word it very carefully, and maybe even include some type of I cannot just say it to her. She might require some type of visual. And then there's one of my other students who she sits very close by me, and that is intentionally, like, you have to tell her the sun is yellow, and okay, and she'll do something, and she's like, no, and I'm, listen, do you remember when I told you the sun is yellow? So you have to say it to her a couple of times, and it's not even so much that there's like, she hears you, she understands English and speaks it very well. It's just that you have to, hey, listen, the sun is yellow, and I appreciate your curiosity, and I appreciate you being very inquisitive, or you wanting to know more things. But this is what it is right now. What I need you to understand is that the sun is yellow, and that's the only thing that matters right now. So they have a unique learning style, and I want to be able to serve whichever group of Hispanic students that I'm gifted with. So, and that's another reason why I wanted to do that. And I definitely want to be a bridge. That's so important to me. I think the thing that I believe most firmly in is building those relationships. And I feel like I have to have a relationship with my students before I can teach them anything. They need to know me. I need to know them. They need to know that I care about them outside of the spelling test that they might not have got 100 on, or the math test that maybe they did get 100 on. I need them to know that they are more than a grade to me. They're more than a 1 year assignment to me. I want them to remember me. And I want them to remember me because I made them feel welcome. I made them feel at home. I made them feel like, my classroom was a safe environment. I wanted them to feel like I was concerned with them. I included them. I included like some things about their culture. I was eager to learn about their culture. I tried to reach out to their families, and I formed a relationship with their families. I want to be a bridge, essentially, because realistically speaking, we're like the most powerful country in the world, but our education wise, like we're not doing so good. So I would like to be a part of that big old network of educators who makes our education system a little better. And essentially, the only way we're going to do that is, number one, as educators, being more open-minded and getting rid of our biases, being culturally responsive, and all of those things. And I want us to learn our students so that we can learn how to serve them so they can succeed academically. One thing that I just realized I failed to mention on any of my slides is the how I'm going to test our students. I know I mentioned it in the lesson plan that was in there. I may have mentioned it briefly in the last video, but here is the truth. The truth of the matter is I didn't want to so much do just, straight multiple choice. Now there will be a few multiple choices questions on the assessment, but I'm going to give them like like a detailed list of things that they need to study, some points that I thought that really stuck out to me, some things that I feel like they need to know. And I've done it this way because I want them to remember these things beyond, this class and beyond this school year. And I want these things to stick with them. So I'm going to definitely have some short answer and some more open-ended response questions, a lot of written response in there. There'll be a few multiple choice on just some things like dates, maybe, but the meat of it, I definitely want them to write out. Because, that is twofold, because I want to make sure that they took good notes and that they remember this information. And then I want to make sure, that they were actively being active readers and active listening and actively doing their research, and not just kind of like, yeah, whatever. And I did it like with the open ended because it's inevitable when you have kids working in small groups. Somebody's gonna slack off a little bit. So I wanted them to definitely have some accountability. While they may be graded on their presentations as a group, this test is individualized, and it's really going to show what they did, and what they put in it and what they got out of it. Did they listen? Were they involved? So those are the things. This is why I'm constructing the assignment the way, or the assessment the way that I am. So in closing, that's kind of my learning segment, and I hope that this is what you were looking for, because I'm honestly, I don't know. And my phone is ringing. It's my mom. I'm sorry. I cut her off. So I will post both of these videos, and I'll look forward to your feedback. Thanks so much.